We'll call this council meeting Monday, February 24th to order. Invocation given by Laura Line, pledge allegiance by Libby Sisk.
Dear God, thank you for our city council, mayor, and everyone that makes our city so great. Give the council members wisdom and guidance as they deliberate on the items before them. May every decision be righteous in your sight for our benefit and your glory. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republics for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Phillips, will you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Dahl?
Here.
Ms. Tolliver?
Here.
Mr. Ashburn?
Here.
Ms. Frederick? Here. Mr. Bailey?
Here. Thank you. First thing tonight is adopt the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda tonight?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda's adopted. Next is approval of previous minutes. Have a motion to approve those minutes.
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. There's no old business tonight, so we'll start with new business. First thing tonight is to recognize the girls' bowling team, and then afterwards, the boys' wrestling team. So.
Nothing draws a crowd like a bunch of state champions, obviously, so that's fantastic. Coach Matt Brewer and Assistant Coach Lee Becker. Lee here, Mike was on his way.
He's-
Okay, would you come forward, please, and bring your state champions forward?
Here he is. Great.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, Matt. Love it.
We're here to recognize first the 2024-25 girls bowling 1A through 5A state champions. Mr. Bailey has a certificate for you, Coach. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Is there anything you would like to add about any of the girls in particular?
Well, they're holding their breaths because they know I can talk a long time. But I won't do that to everybody. But again, this has been an amazing team. So proud of each and every one of them. We're missing Amelia tonight. She is with the soccer team. But again, just to show what kind of team this is, and I can talk about her because she's not here, but Amelia was really nervous, senior of course, but she walked off, kind of had some tears in her eyes, and all these girls said, "Hey, we got you, Coach. We got you, Amelia." And they went out there and took care of business. So super proud of them, super proud of Coach Lee, all the parents that we have. It's a truly remarkable team. So future looks bright for Scottsboro bowling because they're like 8th, 9th graders and one 10th grader. So super proud of each and every one of them. But again, thank you for tonight. We appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You did great.
Coach Staten, Coach Patchen, would you come forward and bring your state champions with you, please? To recognize the Scottsboro 2024 Wrestling State Champions and some individual championships, Mr. Bailey has a certificate for you, Coach. addition to the whole team, we have some individual awards. Cole Snyder, would you step forward, please? 120-pound state champion. Sean State, would you step forward, please? 126-pound state champion. John David Stewart, step forward, please. 144-pound state champion. And Luke Calfee, step forward, please. A 215-pound state champion. Coach, is there anything you'd like to add?
Just thank the kids for their hard work. Great kid on the mat and off. So I just, back-to-back state gold champs and traditional champ. Appreciate their hard work.
Thank you very much. Mr. Green.
Thank you. I know. Awesome job.
All right, number 2 tonight is RecCom updates. Mr. Fannin? Yeah, I will.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak on behalf of my rec team today. I do promise I'm not going to call out their weights as we talk. That might not be quite appropriate. I did give you a packet beforehand that I hope you have. My goal in this is to kind of help everyone understand the process of each season. We have coaches and selections, and then also go through some of the updates. As you know, we had a walkthrough and some projects that we've been working on, and I think we have a slideshow to talk about that. The first sheet you have in your packet there is job description. As the assistant, which I've served as 8 years, coming this April. It's my role to select the teams, how we do that, develop the processes of how we select coaches. The next page, you'll see the coach's contract. That's a standard that we're all held to. Next page after that is just supporting documentation of any types of issues that we have over the years, whether it be ejections or whatnot. Next page, just further documentation that we keep. Next page after that is comments from coaches in the league. We also get some from parents as well as officials. So all that is in your documentation there. If you'll go towards the second to the last page, it has our city policy as it concerns time records and schedules. So we have that. Our department abides by that. The last page in your packet is an example of the timesheet that we fill out. So at any point in time, if anyone has questions of who's doing what, in what role, then we have an ability to answer that. Is there any questions that any of you have for me?
Yes, sir.
I'll give Ms. Pam Bradford the opportunity to speak on behalf of aquatics and concessions.
I would like to extend my appreciation to the mayor and the city council members for allowing us to come defend our department. For the ones that do not know me, I'm Pam Bradford. I'm the City Aquatics and Special Program Coordinator for the RecCom. I've been with the city for 23 years last week. For those that know me, know I do not like to be in the spotlight or public speaking. But I'm driven to share my thoughts today over what has happened feel more dedicated to this department or my role than I am. I feel empowered to speak frankly from the heart without concern of potential consequences. Over the past 4 years, the previous and current councils have implemented sufficient changes to our department. Our core full-time staff, led by myself and Mr. Fanning as interim directors, have worked tirelessly to navigate these changes. Notable, we have achieved more under Mr. Fanning's leadership in a short period of time than we did in the last 3 years. The PowerPoint presentation we will share with you shortly will validate this claim. I would like to emphasize that experience and qualifications are crucial for the effective leadership in this department. Our team possesses the necessary expertise with Mr. Fanning at the helm. I am confident that you will not find a more suitable candidate among the applicants that you will be interviewing in the upcoming weeks besides myself. Sorry, I had to throw that joke in there. Merely because someone submits a claim or tries to slander someone does not necessarily mean we are not performing our job duties adequately. It actually means we are doing our jobs. Take you as a city council. When you're trying to keep the city growing ahead, progressing, there's always someone on your opposing side. And they take to Facebook or wherever saying you're not doing your job. They want to get rid of you. Well, we're in the same boat. If we're trying to move forward, they're going to come after us because they don't like change. Our role, Mr. Fanning and myself, as athletic director and aquatics director, are not limited to the traditional work hours, 9 to 5, 7:30 to 4. Often, we work extended hours, including weekends, evenings, being on call at all times, so no one can say after hours for us. Many days are split shifts, so we don't go into comp time or overtime. When I was appointed 4 years ago as interim director, my responsibilities were more straightforward, as I was serving as office manager. Thought I was going to take the easy way out as I was a retiree. And then I was appointed an interim. But, as we are here now, Mr. Fanning has involved with more encompassed multi-responsibilities, including athletic director, assistant director, and interim director, particularly during his busiest period of his position. January and February, he has successfully managed the base basketball program, the volleyball program, which is still going on, sign up for baseball, softball, t-ball, and we start practice tomorrow night, maintaining the organization of the rec common parks. I firmly believe that you have capable individuals leading your recreation department. I know my opinion might not matter, but to someone has invested her heart and soul into her career, all I ask is that you please make my last 2 years or 4, depending on your decision in your next few weeks, a peaceful time. Thank you for your time, and now I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Fanning.
Thank you very much. If you go through the slideshow here on your comments as needed. Of course, through the walkthrough, Bynum was probably our area that needed the most improvements. So I think
Okay.
so I've got cattle, and where you water the cattle is where you end up with a low spot where it holds water. So over the course of time, we've developed low spots that need attention. Everyone's crew worked tirelessly, even in the cold and freezing dirt, to dig it out, as you see in picture number 1, to put in gravel, as you see in picture 2. And we have AstroTurf at the school. Coach Medley actually was able to donate some for us, so that we have a nice way to enter all 4 of our ball fields. So these guys really worked hard on that. They're in some very cold conditions. There's been complaints of the hard surface. Some of that was by design to, as you know, Bynum Park is in a floodplain, so it causes the water field had a dump truck load of special infield dirt brought in from Birmingham, area that is. So that should soften the fields and help the playability. I do warn though, it could also increase the number of rainouts due to drainage and acting like a sponge. That's just more of the dirt work right there. We do have a little bit left over to fill in spots as they settle. Guys that work tirelessly to get it back in shape as far as the edging work you see there. Bathrooms, of course, they're older, and we're trying to put lipstick on a pig, so to speak, but we've got them functional as far as the hand soap. The old fountain out back that nobody should ever drink out of has been removed. Inside dining concessions, we've had thoroughly cleaned by Ms. Bradford. She's gone through and really taken a load off of me to be able to get the concession stands back in excellent condition. Very thankful for that. Ice machine you see on the left there, with a little bit of a trip hazard that we've always had to negotiate. We've upgraded with a more energy efficient and smaller ice machine that will meet our needs. Will save a little electricity and have a little space for storage. Shades to keep the sun out from the area getting too hot in there. Just basic cleanliness there. It's a place when you're working on weekends, it gets very dirty, so as you see, there's a lot of work to do. Still some stuff we need to work on. We've got some guys that are going to help hopefully get some metal, what you see there on that table. Replace some of the aging wood all around the whole facility. Ms. Pam likes to reorganize things, so she's reorganized all the concessions, so I won't be able to find anything, but hopefully all of our concession staff will. We replaced all the picnic tables with a more durable picnic table that doesn't have any breaks or deterioration from the sun. Stairs, which were a safety issue for a number of years, we've been able to get our city maintenance guys to field to replace those, so those will be in working order. We would like to paint those at some point when the temperature allows for it. Faces board in the dugouts there. Ms. Tolliver, you mentioned that the black and gold, so I'm all about that getting painted, but we will have to wait till it gets a little warmer. Veterans there, you see. The white that you see will not come off with pressure washing. It's the line that's leaching through the masonry. But the mold and the mildew, we have gone through and got that taken care of. Fields getting back in condition, adding the turf and the soil conditioner to get it where it's playable at a high level. Just when you got a lot of people coming through, there's going to be issues. So we've had electrical issue and taken care of. More cleaning, deep cleaning from the vents and up and down and all around. Keeps coming through there. Just a lot of cleaning in a lot of different areas. The fryers, the organization, from head to toe, in and out. A lot of work's been put into it. Getting all of our permits up to date. So there's a lot that goes into it to get you ready for a ball season. Stocked and ready to go. So we're ready for the tournaments. Supposed to have one on March 15th, and we should be ready for that. New items that we're looking to provide as a service, we got pizzas, pizza oven, and wings. You mentioned wings there, so we're going to add that to what we offer. Soccer and tents. The wind screens, every time the wind blows, it's an issue. We've got with Mr. Jim Oldings and kind of patterned some of what we do with the tennis courts to what they do with pickleball courts, so the bottom actually lets loose first, so that way we just fasten it back down instead of chasing it back down in the woods. See some aesthetic work there on shrubs and beds with pine straw spread. Make it look better as well as take care of some weeds. Main building there. So we've upgraded some of the bathrooms with some new receptacles. Got a kids club who swim meet all on the same day. Missing tiles, as you know, our roof is over and it likes to leak, so we've got some of those things patched up. Over the years, we get some stuff on the walls, we gotta make sure we get some extra stuff, get that off. And that's just a basic ending there of everything that we provide and everything that we're trying to provide the service to this community. I appreciate your support and help as we go through this time. Open up any questions that you may have, anything that you've seen, or there are some more things on the items that we discussed that we still have yet to do, and get closer to those things.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Fanning on any of this? No questions? Thank you, sir. How do I get out of this? All right, we're moving to number 3. Consider tourism grant application from Casting and Catching Fishing Tournament. This is the amount of $5,000 that will come out of tourism grant. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on it? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, consider the resolution to award the bid for the body cams for the police department. This is the amount of $37,647.40. This will come out of the approved budget already, though. So do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, consider the approval of the property easement at the landfill. I have a motion to approve that easement.
I'll make that motion.
And do I have a second? Second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, consider a budget amendment to purchase tires for the off-road truck at the solid waste department. This is the amount of $11,077 that would come out of excess sales tax. So do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, consider a budget amendment to replace a door at the city storage building on Abbey Lane. I have a motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Well, can I make a motion to table it until we get 2 good bids? Because this other bid expired, so we only have 1 bid. And I'm all for getting the door, I promise you, but
Okay.
we don't have 2 good bids here. We only have
Okay.
one that expired and another one, so I feel like we need 2 bids. That's,
Okay. Let me go back to the first motion that Ms. Nita had. Let's see if we have a second first. So do I have a second on it? Okay. Hearing no second, that motion will die. Now, I open the floor again. Ms. Frederick?
okay, I'd like to make a motion that we just table this until we get 2 good bids for the same exact thing.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm all for getting it. We need that
Get
door
it
fixed,
fixed.
but
We need it fixed.
All right.
we need 2 good bids.
So I have a motion to table it until the second quote comes in. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Any discussion on it? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 8, consider a budget amendment for ADM application permit for burning. This is an amount of $7,000 that would come out of excess sales tax. So do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on it?
Mr. President, is this just for the permit to see if we're going to be okay to do the burning?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And number 9, appointments to the Architectural Review Board. Ms. Phillips, will you go over that, please?
We have 3 vacancies, and we have 3 applicants to be appointed to the Architectural Review Board. Don Pettingill, Diane Widgeon, and Joseph Ballou.
Okay. So you have 3 vacancies and you have 3 applicants. So do I have a motion to approve all 3 of those?
I make that motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that?
I'm just glad we got 3 applicants. That's great.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That'll conclude the meeting, but before we go into delegations, I'm going to remind everyone, delegations are 3 minutes long. They are not a question and answer type. You have your 3 minutes to say your piece, and then we'll move on to the next person. So, first person tonight, Jeff Toss.
Hey, good evening. Thanks so much for your time. My name is again Jeff Tollison, lifelong citizen of Scottsboro. Love it in this place. This place is very special to me. Nice a few years overseas, so I appreciate y'all's time. For the past 9 years, I've had the privilege of serving as a volunteer coach in Scottsboro's rec sports programs. I've coached t-ball, baseball, flag football, soccer, volleyball, and basketball. So basically, if there's a sport with a ball, I've probably coached it or tried to. I also serve on staff at Faith Covenant Church here in Scottsboro, where I lead outreach and young adult ministries. As a father of 3 of 16, 14, and 3, that gap was not necessarily intentional. I've been invested, it's a tough crowd tonight, but it's okay. I've been invested in Scottsboro youth sports for nearly all my adult life. Over the years, I've had a front row seat to the incredible transformation of our recreation sports department under Mr. Robert Fanning's leadership. When I first started coaching, things were good. They were simple, teams were organized, games were played, kids had fun. But over the years, I've watched the department grow into something truly special, something that has become a point of pride for our community, a point of pride for me as a dad and as a volunteer. Because of Robert's leadership, we've seen programs like flag football and track and field introduced. We've seen opportunities expand for community involvement like parent-child competitions and skills clinics with local varsity athletic programs. Because of this transformation and innovation, we've seen participation in recreational sports skyrocket. More kids are playing sports today than ever before in our great community. More families are getting involved. The community is becoming more connected. There's an energy in this department, and that just wasn't necessarily there a decade ago like it is today. That kind of growth, that kind of excitement, that doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you have a leader who truly cares. Robert's a beacon of positivity and excellence in every role he takes on, leaving both individuals and organizations feeling empowered and encouraged. His unwavering professionalism, dedication, and best efforts set a high standard, making a lasting impact wherever he goes. The late, great Coach Larry Morris was quoted having said this about Robert just a few years ago before Coach Morris's passing. Robert Fanning is a class in all he does. A good leader and a people person, Scottsboro is lucky to have people like him in leadership roles. Over a decade ago, when Robert took over the sports department, he didn't just focus on expanding and growing programs, he established a culture. Before moving back to Scottsboro, I served in the U.S. Army for over 5 years, including 2 combat deployments to Iraq. One of the reasons our Army is the greatest fighting force on the earth is because it has established values. These Army values include loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. These values shape how our soldiers lead, how our soldiers carry themselves, and how they uphold the mission of something greater than themselves. In many ways, Robert has done the same with Scottsboro's recreation sports program. He's instilled clear expectations for coaches, leaders in their own right. Because he understood those who guide our young athletes must meet standards of excellence, both on and off the field. He emphasized character traits like patience, kindness, integrity, and self-control. He set the expectations that coaches should not only teach athletic skills, but also communicate respectfully, lead by example, and foster an environment of excellence in behavior.
Thank you, Mr. Dawes. We appreciate your time. Next, Mr. Daniel Colon.
Good evening. I won't spend a lot of time telling you who I am and what I've done. Lifelong Scottsboro, been involved in rec department for a long time. Mayor, City Council, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. I come before you not just as a concerned citizen, but as someone who values stability, integrity, dedication required to effectively lead our Parks and Recreation Department. And I urge you Leadership in any department, especially one that serves the heart of our community, requires two essential things: stability and support. Without these, progress becomes impossible. The department head cannot properly plan, grow, or maintain long-term success if they are constantly looking over their shoulder, wondering if the very people who should be supporting them are instead looking for a reason to replace them. Stability breeds success, and success is what we've seen under Robert's leadership. We all understand that no leader can please everyone. It's simply not possible, nor should it be the goal. The role of the Parks and Recreation Director is to make decisions based on what is best for the entire community, especially for our children. And sometimes that means making tough calls. That means standing firm when a few loud voices demand special treatment, or when personal interests clash with what's best for the majority. Our current director has the gumption to make those difficult decisions, and that is exactly the kind of leadership position demands. Let's acknowledge something else that's critical. Experience matters. Robert has dedicated nearly 17 years of his life to the recreation complex, including 13 in a supervisory role. That kind of experience isn't just something you replace. It's something you value, something you build upon. He knows this facility, this staff, and most importantly, this community inside and out. His years of service reflect a commitment that is rare and invaluable. Time and time again, he has gone above and beyond the call of duty, working long hours, not for personal recognition, but because he genuinely cares. He's not just a department head, he's a dedicated public servant. One who believes that this community and its future can be brighter if we all work together. Every decision he makes is rooted in what benefits the most people, particularly the children who rely on the programs, facilities, and opportunities provided by the Parks and Recreation Department. We cannot afford to sacrifice strong leadership because the complaints of a few individuals who believe things should always go their way. This department does not exist to cater to the demands of adults who want special privileges. It exists to serve everyone fairly, to provide recreational opportunities that build character, to ensure that the youth of this community have a safe place to play, learn, and grow. So I ask you, Mayor and Council, look beyond politics, beyond the pressure, and beyond the personal preferences. Look at this decision with the eyes of the community.
Thank you, Mr.
Look
Clough.
at what's been built, not what's being done, and what can still be accomplished with the right leadership in place.
Thank you, sir.
And if I can give you guys these,
Sure.
we put together some folks from the community.
All right, Parker Henniger.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Just want to touch, Mr. Plum spoke on fairness. That's actually why I'm here, all right? So I'm here tonight once again to formally address concerns related with the decision-making process and communication within the Recreation Department. As it pertains to my recent interactions with Mayor McCamey, Mr. Richard Bailey, Mr. Robert Fanning, and the coaching assignments for the 8U softball team. On Saturday, February 17th at 11:41, I reached out to Mr. Bailey to discuss the incident between myself and Mr. Fanning that occurred the previous day. During our communication, Mr. Bailey informed me that he could not override any decision made by Mr. Fanning, as he viewed these decisions as part of day-to-day operations. I respectfully requested Mr. Bailey's attention to the matter, as I was aware that he served on the hiring committee for the Parks and Recreation Director position. I shared the details of the situation with Mr. Bailey, indicating that I had evidence that was presented to the City Council last Monday. Following the City Council meeting last Monday, Mr. Fanning spoke with Mr. Matthews regarding concerns he had. Mr. Fanning acknowledged at that time that Scott Matthews and I had assumed roles as assistant coach with Chandler Driver, stating, "It looks like it will all work out because you and Parker are going to help her anyways." This comment confirmed Mr. Fanning was aware of my involvement in the assistant coaching role. On Tuesday evening, I received a screenshot of a group message involving Mr. Bailey, Mr. Fanning, and Chandler Driver. In this message, Mr. Fanning sought to justify his selection process for the AU head coach. The text clearly states, Pudge supported and can vouch for himself my thought process on naming you, Chandler, as the head coach. This communication also includes a timestamp printout of Mr. Fanning's initial plan showing that 6 coaches had signed up for the AU team. This raises the question, if there were already enough coaches, why did Mr. Fanning call Scott Matthews at the mayor's direction, considering that Mr. Matthews had not originally signed up to coach? On Friday, February 21st, Mr. Fanning communicated with all regular coaches stating that each head coach must provide the names of 2 assistant coaches approved by the Recreation Department prior to the first practice. Mr. Matthews was able to sign up without issue while I was listed as not eligible. I took a screenshot and shared with Chandler Grider, who then reached out to Mr. Fanning for clarification. Instead of addressing the matter privately, Mr. Fanning responded in a group message with all AU coaches instructing Chandler that I would not be permitted to serve as assistant coach for this season. He further stated that I had forfeited any opportunity to coach in the rec department this season. When Chandler inquired about the reasoning, Mr. Fanning replied with a link to the video of the city council meeting held last Monday. He cited documented reasons, though he failed to provide specifics, referring only to my statement at the meeting and implying that I had criticized the department's operations. He stated at the 15-minute mark, anyone can eyewitness this is what not to do. This was perceived as a threat to all coaches that if you use your freedom of speech, that you would no longer be permitted to coach at the rec department. Mr. Fanning emphasizes the importance of teaching children to do what is right. Yet are we truly teaching them to remain silent out of fear of potential punishment? Mr. Fanning stated, I cannot be a head coach because there was more qualified people. Now he is saying I cannot be an assistant because I exercise my freedom of speech. And
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tanner. Appreciate it.
You have the rest of it. You're welcome to read it. I'll be back next week to read the rest of it.
Okay. Saying that, let me be clear. This council does not pick coaches. That is a direct day-to-day job, and there's somebody in that position that does that. And I appreciate what they do because I couldn't do it, just to be honest. No, I get added to a lot of group messages, including yours. And like I say, I do not pick coaches. Nobody on this board picks coaches.
Well, Ms. Bradford spoke,
So-
we have practice tomorrow. We didn't even receive a practice schedule for tomorrow. So that's what we're dealing with
Okay.
at the rec.
Thank you. All right. There's no other delegations, so we're going to reports. Mayor?
I don't have anything tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dahl?
I don't have anything.
Thank you. Ms. Tolliver?
I do have something. I would like to remind everybody about this week. Yeah, I'm so tore up about all this. So I'm just going to tell y'all, I want to see everybody in Birmingham, okay? And I'm going to leave it at that. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ashburn?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Frederick?
Well, I've been meaning to say this for a couple of weeks, but I want to say that I'm proud and blessed to be on the city council with these guys, because in the news recently, in the last month or so, I've seen some city councils where they get up and they fuss and they fight and they cuss and banter back and forth with each other or people in the audience, and we don't always get along, we don't always agree, but when it's all said and done, we get past it, and we work for what we think is best for Scottsboro, so I'm
That's
just proud. That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Frederick.
Can I re-indicate what I was trying to say? Wednesday, please. Please be there on Wednesday for all of us. We are a family here in Scottsboro. I want y'all to know that. And we do work together up here. So I'm just trying to correct. Please see me in Birmingham on Wednesday. Thank you.
You want to tell them what time?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. 3 o'clock. Please be there in Birmingham at 3 o'clock.
No. All right. Just want to remind everyone, March 3rd, we will have a work session, but March 10th, there'll be no meeting. That's the NLC conference, so we won't have a meeting that day. March 17th, we'll do a meeting and work session, and 24th, a meeting. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned.